Alright, I don't know, 20 seconds later, jumping back in. We got 1 and 2 uploaded. I want to upload the next video, but these two are still sort of screwing around. So, alright, we literally let's prove the point here a little bit. We're gonna delete this record. Yep, people who doubted this adventure in the beginning, have to be sort of asking themselves, how the hell are these things updating at we'll prove the point. We're going to close this. So we are literally shutting down the process that this is attached to. We're looking over here. Absolutely none of these are valid. These pointers mean nothing because what they are relative to doesn't exist anymore. So we'll even, start up Task Manager here. Go to Processes. You can dig around. Are we going to dig around the services? No. Am I hiding this process? No. I'm not. There are no tricks here. What do we got? We got Firefox. We got Cheat Engine. Got some internal processes. We got Recorder. We got Steam. We got Cheat Engine. Those are hopping around a little bit. Explorer, CCC. That's some keyboard thing or some crap I got running. Task Host, LCD Media. Again, that's some keyboard thing that I have for. I got some fancy keyboard with lights and LCDs and shit on it. I don't use it, but it's a gaming keyboard technically, so it has all this bullshit. So processes associated with. So we know I'm not screwing around in that respect. So let's restart this. Let's you know what? Can we get something to drink? I don't know. We're running low. So we'll grab some. Because again, this is I don't know how long this specific back-to-back series has been, but I'm keeping a lot of this crap in my head, and I'm also keeping what we might have fucked up, a couple steps back in my head, and if we fucked up and we gotta jump back those couple steps, it's gonna be a real nightmare. But I'm seeing some decent results. In the pointer scanner box here. So I'm kind of feeling that maybe we didn't fuck up so bad. And why do I think we fucked up? Because when we did that, it's just a total A side here. When we did that memory reassignment in Python, it juggled the memory addresses associated with that variable as we talked about. Did some dynamic garbage collection. Now, how do I know for sure that that doesn't matter? I don't. Why do I suspect it might matter? Because it's possible that one of the pointers we had found down here, or some of the pointers that we had found in the pointer scan, um, didn't jump, in enough levels of indirection or something to, sort of track down what we were doing. And then when we did that reassignment and the value changed, the offsets would be different. So again, it's possible. I'm not really thinking it through because again, we're off the top of my head and I'm recording back to back. And if I sat down and was quiet for 2 minutes, I can maybe reason it out. But again, for the purposes of this sort of illustration here, we're demonstrating how complex some of this stuff can be. And this is the kind of stuff that you're going to deal with when you do pointer scanning on actual games. We are pointer scanning on a relatively small interpreter here. Is there a lot of black box crap going on under the hood? Absolutely. But when you start scanning the game, I mean, we'll quantify this a little bit. Go to applications, go to processes. What is the memory, that consumption that this is having? Let's see if we can even find it here. Python W. What's that? 11,000, 10 times 7. Yeah, so we got about 10 megs of RAM that this is chewing up, and then 10 megs of RAM or 15 megs of RAM that the other process is chewing up. Is that, 10, 15? No, you could say there's 1,024 kilobytes, then round it up and whatnot. But we're going to say this latter process is 10 megs of RAM. Well, fuck it. We'll say it's 11 megs of RAM. This first one's 15 megs of RAM. So even if you took both Python processes and you smashed them together, you got 11 megs of RAM, 15 megs of RAM, 26 megs of RAM total that we're searching. If you fire up any modern game, such as Shadowrun, which just for shits and giggles we will do right now, I guarantee you it will be way above 26 megs of RAM. It's going to be hundreds of megs of RAM. So we're not even going to go to options or anything like that. We're just going to launch the game. We're going to go to Task Manager. We're going to bring it up, Shadowrun.exe. What do you got? You got 228 megs of RAM. So, I mean, you're talking just a ridiculous amount of data. And when you start scanning these kinds of games for pointers and things like that, the results that you're going to be dealing with are going to be even larger than what we've been shuffling around here. So to make the point, to beat the point to death, the complexity that we are dealing with right now to sort of drill down to the levels of indirection in just a simple Python interpreter are at least what you're going to deal with when you start messing with modern games, and at the very least, you may even deal with more levels of indirection, or you may wind up using the manual method for hunting down pointers and things like that. Which, if you think that this is a little crazy and whatnot, then you'll definitely you'll enjoy that. Is what I'm saying. So, getting back to it, let's declare a variable, or we're not even going to do that. We have not even declared a variable up here. So let's just sort of recap here. What was the mission statement that we were doing? The whole mission statement is to find an offset of pointers relative to the process of Python w.exe, the second Python w.exe process, so that we could find the value of the first variable that we declared in this interpreter, no matter how many times we restarted it, no matter what we did, no matter how much we juggled the memory. We are well on that track, if I suspect. So let's just make sure that we have, last one was at 139C. Nope, we got to reattach it right there. So we have attached to the second one. You can see immediately we haven't declared anything up here, but we have attached this cheat engine instance to the process. It immediately sort of populates what python27.dll means, what threadstack0 means. These are all sort of aliases, just like what Shadowrun.exe what Shadowrun.exe was when we were sort of screwing around with that as far as the address manually. If you doubt that, then you can certainly prove the point by doing something like this. There you go. You just type in whatever's over here as far as whatever the offset or whatever the hex value being added to the process name is, or these are not really processes; they're modules to be technical, but we're not going to distinguish between that. All you got to do is type one of these module names or process names or whatever you want in here. Let's see if we can get away with doing some thread stack 0. In fact, we can. We do thread stack 1. Yeah, it doesn't even care. All right, we're just doing thread stack. So you can see that just by typing in these things over here, in the address manually, these names are just aliases, and they do in fact refer to addresses. So getting back to it, stuff points to things. Address is over here, pointing to 8192. What's 8192? It doesn't even matter because it doesn't even matter. That's easy to say, but we have not declared a first variable up here, so it's possible that these are all just sort of spurious bit patterns that existed in memory and whatnot. So let's see if we can maybe change 8192. So here's what I'm going to say. If we declare a variable and we're going to give a variable a value in Python, if the values of all these pointers or most of these pointers change to whatever we assign up here, we know that we are pretty much on track. So what are we going to name this? We are going to name this variable, please end this God, equals some value that will be totally distinguishable. I don't know. I got nothing. Honestly, I'm running an empty at this point. 5432. There you go. It's a couple values. 5432, 5432, 5432. So what are we going to do now? Well, we're going to jump into cheat engine just to double check. Attached to it, 139C. Yep. So we got 5432. One value. Grab it. Change the value. 50. What is that? Please end this God is in fact 50. You can see that all these things change when we access this variable. That implies some sort of relationship about us accessing this variable in Python affects a lot of these pointers. That's going to be very helpful to us in just 1 second. But we can also see that this address over here, sort of on the far right column here, we have an address equals value. You can see that this address over here, 2415188, is exactly equal to what we're finding over here in Cheat Engine. Again, there's a beyond any reasonable doubt, there's a correlation between what we're doing here. There's a correlation between what we're doing in the Python interpreter versus what we're doing in Cheat Engine versus what is showing up here in the pointer scanner. I cannot beat this to death enough. If these concepts that we're talking about in pointers and whatnot, we have proven, and I'm not gonna. This is sort of the end of the road here. We have proven beyond any reasonable doubt that we can just shut this down, restart it, find the value, find the address. It doesn't even matter. So let's cut. Let's cut the shit. Close this again. We're gonna go through this process one more time. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do the same thing we've done. Has no idea what we're talking about. We're gonna reattach the process. The last Python. Hit open. Nope, don't want to keep it. Delete the crap down here. We're gonna do a new scan. So what do we got? We're gonna do X. We're not even gonna do X. What are we gonna call this? I don't know how much time we got left. A little over 200 seconds, 250 seconds. What is that? 4 minutes. All right, we're gonna take a deep breath. All right, did we reattach it? Yep, we did. 192.8374. One value. Obviously, that's a bit pattern that is probably not going to exist in an application this small. We'll change it to 0 just to be sure. And just to be clear, this variable name is fuck. We just made the same mistake. We gotta close it and re-go through this. We're gonna rename the variable C I told you so, just so I can be smug. Because again, as I said, I have when we started this whole adventure, I really had no idea whether this was gonna work or not. 29. All right. Reattach it. So the fact that this is working is kind of is it proving the point that we were talking about in the series here? Absolutely. But not only that, but sort of validating my own internal beliefs about pointers and things like that. So we're going to change. We're not going to change the value here in Cheat Engine, because if we did, we would sort of intuitively go back and recheck the value and have Python read the memory location every time we have it go back and read the memory location. All these things change back. We're not going to do that. So we just set the value here, and then we make sure that it shows up in Python. We're going to jump right to the rescan. We're not going to filter out invalid. We're going to go to value define. What are we looking for? We're looking for 293847. 4-byte value. Hit OK. See what we get. The end. Hopefully. There you go. 14 values. Shit, I don't even know what to tell you anymore. We're just gonna pick the first one. At this point, what would you do? In a regular sort of application or whatnot, is it always going to sort of boil down to one pointer that's going to point to the address you want? No, it's going to, sort of in a small application like this, maybe this is what, maybe the concept of, how many pointers to the specific value you want, and how many you're going to find. Maybe that's what will become the next video, but, we're certainly not going to filter this down anymore. We've certainly beaten this to death, but there's not just going to be, the basic point that I'm trying to say here is there's not just going to be one pointer that's going to point to the value you want. There's going to be, a couple pointers with a couple different offsets. As you can see, this one has, 68A0. Well, it doesn't even have any more offsets. It just says, you know what, here's some hex value. I'm adding it onto this module or this process name, or, in this case, it's module. And I don't need the other 3 offsets. It's just, at this memory location, I'm digging out some bit pattern that's telling me to point to this address, as you can see reflected down here. And I'm doing that, and then I'm digging out a value, and we can change it in here. Let's just change it and make it 5. See, oh, that's ridiculous. Did we just totally screw ourselves? Oh, that could be a problem. Shit. We'll pick this up in the next video.